Well, greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Apple video. Um, I am showcasing my iPad 2 again on iOS 4 in my collection. And as I said a few weeks ago, I got this for $50. And I wasn't quite sure if it was guaranteed going to be on iOS 4, because the seller reused the photos for multiple listings, so I was quite skeptical, but I guess the photos were accurate, and it turns out it's on iOS 4.3.3. It's just a 16 gig Wi-Fi, really good condition, but it does have engraving, which is okay, because hey, iPad 2 is running iOS 4, like super rare, but basically, this is the second iPad 2 on iOS 4 I have. My first one, which I've shown, I think I did a video in March, comparing the iPad 2 on iOS 4 versus the iPad 4 on iOS 6. And that one was a Wi-Fi 32 gig. I think it had cellular too, with no engraving. And that one's on 4.3.5 versus this one's on 4.3.3. So kind of up and down, right? Since at least this one isn't on its last iOS 4 version. But basically, so what happened to that one was the Wi-Fi was broken on it. So even though you can't really do too much with these anymore, but basically I wasn't happy with it just because the Wi-Fi was broken. So I decided to sell it with a few other devices that I felt like parting ways with to one of my friends that's also a huge Apple collector, right? We've done some deals with each other in the past, right? But basically, right, yes, I sold it to him, right? And then basically I told him, hey, if you see another iPad 2 running iOS 4, right, on eBay and basically he's like, I can't find one, right? That's what he kept saying, right? And basically, while it's like, yeah, these are super rare, I probably won't be able to find one either, right? But I just literally wanted to just go out on eBay and just search iPad 2, right? And just a few listings down, what were the odds? But I saw this. It said connect to iTunes. It said it was in working condition and everything. And I took a gamble on this. And it happened to run iOS 4. So there you go. So only for $50. So versus the one with no Wi-Fi I actually bought for over $100. So basically I got a better deal on a better iPad than that one, because this one's fully functional versus that one wasn't. But basically what kind of annoyed me is the Wi-Fi wasn't working. I couldn't try to load web pages, even though you can't really do too much with these anymore, but I wanted to play around with it, use Safari, use the App Store, right? So basically I wanted to just go out and find one and kind of prove some other Apple collectors that can't find another one, right? I actually wanted to find one, and I actually found one, right? Since most iPad 2s and 3s are running iOS 8, probably iOS 9, which murdered them. But basically, yeah, I found a fully functional one. So basically what I'm saying is, I'm an Apple collector, right? I buy Apple products, right? And mainly retro, but I also have a lot of newer stuff too. And I just literally wanted to just go out and just find one, right? And I was able to, right? Basically, right? I like collecting this stuff. I want to go out and find one, right? And I found one. And as I said, I'm the guy that I gave my Irwin to. He's a really good guy. Right? But I'm trying to prove him wrong and find an iPad first gen on iOS 3, because I've not been able to find any iPad first gens on iOS 3. I guess those are impossible to find. I don't get how how, I mean, those were so rare because, I mean, occasionally you do find an iPad 2 on iOS 4 on eBay. Occasionally you find an iPad 3 on iOS 5, 4 on iOS 6. But the first gen on iOS 3, for a reason, I'm keeping my eyes out. I'm looking every day to see if I can find a decent one. But, or any iPad first gen on iOS 3 at all, even if it's cracked, because I've never been able to find one yet. But I'm keeping my eyes out. But I am happy that I was able to get an iPad 2 on, a fully working iPad 2 on iOS 4 in my collection. But basically, I was telling the guy, yeah, hey, I mean, I'm having trouble finding an iPad 1 on iOS 3. He's like, nah, I can't find any others either. He has one, but he hasn't been able to find one in like 4 or 5 years. So, and he told me that basically, Barry, that, I mean, you're not going to find one. I don't mean to be mean or anything, but they're just beyond rare. And and I said, I mean, I understand, but I want to prove you wrong, because if you found one, I bet one day there's going to be one for sale, right? On eBay. I mean, there are millions of people in this world, I mean, and one day there will be someone that doesn't know what they have, right? And I'm going to take advantage of it, just like I've done for some other devices I have in my collection, and gotten them for decently cheap. But again, this is a really cool iPad. You did have multitasking, unlike some other iOS 4 devices. But basically, what you can do on this iPad, right? You can also do on, like, say, an iPhone 3G, right? Running iOS 4, right? And it's super slow. I mean, yeah, right? But basically you can do the same stuff, as iOS 4 is very limited in these days, right? But I'm very happy to have this as part of my collection, and I'm very happy to share with you guys. Of course, I'm never trying to brag in any way, especially because, yes, I'm an Apple collector, but I'm not like the biggest, right, Apple collector. Like, there are way more diehards out there. That I know, so they have way more than I do. So, but basically, I kind of wanted to talk about that stuff in this video, and peace out, everybody.